Oh man, I hope you guys are excited as I am for Game 3 between the Austin, who is spawning up here in the northwestern corner, versus Vulcanix, man, who is spawning here in the southeast corner, and I am just so excited to see what these players are going to pull out of their hats this game. Of course, you heard me rave about how much I love PvP in Game 1, and of course you saw Vulcanix's amazing macro style in that Game 1 too. In Game 2, of course, we saw the amazing blink play from the Austin, sort of taking that game back decisively. Very short, very quick win. Amazing play from these players. I'm really excited to see what these players are going to do. Is it going to go for a more macro style game? Or are these players going to start, take some expansions, sort of work their way up to the high tier units? Or are they going to sort of end the game quickly with maybe like a 4-gate or something? Even quicker than that. I'm just sort of bouncing in my chair. I'm so excited. Now, these two players... they're not like sort of the famous players. This is of course from the Open tournament, Season 1 from the NeSPA, or as I like, that's how I pronounce it. Of course, this is actually the Nebraska Esports Association, who put on a fantastic tournament. Of course, you can see our sponsors at the bottom of the screen. Thank those guys too, as they are the best who allowed us to put on this sort of tournaments. But in the game, we are actually seeing dual scouting going out from both of these Protoss players right now, just trying to find the other guy, trying to see what he's doing. And I'm actually trying to see what these guys are doing too. I mean, in all these games, we've seen them both take their geysers, I would say relatively quickly, as I take my second geyser when I play Protoss quite late. I feel like I can get away with only having one gas geyser on for quite a bit of time. And these guys have been taking quite early, and notice that Austin has done something different every game, where Vulcanix has sort of tried to get that Colossus up. I know last game he went blink, actually both went blink, so to be fair, all these players have been doing something different every time, so this makes me even more sort of curious to see, what are these guys going to be doing this game? Are they going to be sort of taking their expansions really quickly? I know Vulcanix somewhat did that. It was relatively late, but I feel like the thing is with PvP is you're never really sure when it's safe to take that expansion, except after you hold off an attack. Now, if an attack comes, like let's say a bit of a pressure attack comes from your opponent and you hold it off, wow, you're completely free to expand because there's not really much you can do because you just held off an attack. But other than that, you're not really sure when you can expand because unless you get that observer out, because you don't know what your opponent has. And that's why scouting is just so important to see what you should be making in PvP. And I'm really excited rather. I'm a little bit nervous too to see who's going to win this game, as I just have fallen in love with both of these players and their playstyles. So it looks like double gas for Austin and double gas for Vulcanix. So I'm excited to see which one of these players is going to go for the Robo. We do see a little bit of an earlier Robo from Vulcanix in Game 1, but an earlier Robo from Austin in Game 2. So it's sort of anyone's game at this point. I'm sort of just trying to hype you guys up to sort of enjoy these players' playstyles and enjoy how differently two players can play Protoss, even though it's the same race. And I just think that's so amazing how many different ways you can play this race, even though it's same units, same buildings. I just think that's so cool. Stalker is moving out, about to deny this probe. This probe will, unfortunately, lose his little probey life to the Stalker's weird, shooty, void thingies as he sort of scuttles across the map like a crab. What are Stalkers made of, and who are inside Stalkers? I know this guy in the little corner here is inside the Stalker, but I'm always sort of confused. Is he... I don't know what he is, but I will find out. I will go on Google, I will go on Wikipedia and find out what exactly the Stalker is. The Stalker moving all the way, actually deciding not to engage the Stalker right here, as the Sentry could come down and do a little bit more damage. Sentries are sort of the tickle monsters. They only do 6 damage per shot, but they do it constantly, and therefore sort of tickle their opponent to death. In Vulcanix space, we are seeing the Robo coming down. In Austin space, we are seeing 2 gateways go down, opting to just do this every game. He gets his 2 sentries out, which is it's 200 gas, so it's a pretty big gas investment, meaning that he's going to get that Robo later. However, what that also means is that he not only gets the Robo later, but he's going to be safer, because he's going to be able to throw those force fields down from those sentries, and meaning that he will be able to just be safer from any pressure that Vulcanix chooses to do. Of course, Vulcanix choosing just to get Observer out now, just to see what exactly is going on in Austin's base. Choosing to chronoboost those probes is very, very necessary, as that chronoboost is being spent wonderfully. Getting that fast observer out too, he does this in many games as well. Also spreading these pylons out beautifully, just getting a perfect pylon coverage making sure that there's no Artosis pylon covering this huge amount of tech right there, and getting this one so no little funny business can be warped in onto the high ground. Of course, this observer is going to be heading out across the map to see what exactly that Austin has in his base, as Austin does spread his stalkers out quite well to intercept any possible warp prisms. Such a good play from Austin. He's also got the Twilight Council, and is getting the Dark Shrine. Wow, so Austin really rushing, man. But this, oh man, the observer is in the base. Will Vulcanix see this? It remains to be seen. Looks like he is opting to go. He's not gonna scout the back here. He's not gonna see the Dark Templar. Oh, Austin. This is absolutely so imperative that he scouts. Oh wait, no, he's heading. No. Oh, Austin, don't tease me like this, man. Oh man, this is such a bummer. This Dark Shrine is almost halfway done. He is gonna scout it if he gets up there, so he needs to get some sort of getting Austin off this sort of scouting path, but it looks like Vulcanix will actually scout this. Let's watch and see what his reaction is. Looks like he does get up there, and he does see the Dark Shrine. How does he react to this? He's probably going to get an observer really quickly back at home, realizing, oh man, Dark Templar are on the way, and it looks like the investment from Austin is not going to pay off as it was scouted. Austin must be feeling kind of bummed out right now, as he did not get the observer of himself to deny that observer. Will he go ahead and warp these Dark Templar? I mean, they can still be very deadly. Of course, he is, by he, I mean Vulcanix is choosing to expand behind this, meaning that he sort of feels safe by this, and it looks like their supplies are exactly the same. Now, the observer is actually following these Dark Templar as they move across the map, but Vulcanix deciding to double up on these observers, meaning that these Dark Templar are going to do nothing. I don't even think that Austin realized that he had been scouted, but it looks like these Dark Templar are going to be killed almost immediately. One DT trying to slip inside, getting taken out immediately. This DT will have to go all the way home, bringing this observer all the way back. But this did allow Austin to get time to expand. However, he is quite behind in the amount of units that he has. Vulcanix has so many more units than what he has right now, keeping this observer back so no DTs can sort of slip in. One DT trying to get by and actually manages to. Does he have an observer with this army? I don't think he does. The observer is all the way back here, meaning that he is going to decide to pull these guys back, but he's going to bring the Stalkers in, realizing that maybe that's not the best idea. I don't know why he decided to pull those Immortals back. Where are those Immortals running to? Immortals decided they should head back. The DT is going to be holding the Watchtower, which is going to be helpful, meaning that these DTs will do something useful at least. We are seeing a Colossus not being produced, but their thermal lance rather is being produced by Vulcanix. He is also gaining that supply lead because those DTs did not work. They sort of set him back so much. The observer is also just chilling here. He did morph them into Archons, which is going to make them much more useful, as Archons have so much health, 350. I believe that's the most health in the game, although battle cruisers or carriers or mothership actually might have more. I need to sort of research that. And of course, the Immortals only take 10 damage 10 times per shot, as their shields only take 10 damage, meaning that stuff like Colossus are not going to be as useful against them. So if you see a guy going Colossus, make a lot of Immortals. That's John's pro tip for today. We are seeing the gas now being taken for Vulcanix, and of course the observer is sort of scouting around, seeing if there's any more funny business. Forge is going down. Just as I was actually about to comment on the fact that neither of these players have upgrades. However, Austin is opting to go for that Zealot charge, going for some sort of quasi-charge lot with Stalker. Really only mining the gas at his main base, not opting to make any probes right now, which I'm not sure I agree with, as he has this one base saturated, but he's just not going to be saturating this at all. There he goes, finally making the probes there, as maybe I just sort of missaw, and actually they were making probes, and I just sort of did not see that as well. Morphing all these sort of recently built gateways into warp gates. Look at this pylon spread, absolutely amazing. Pylon spread around his entire base, and this Colossus is out now, so Austin, or Vulcanix rather, is in a really good position. Austin, not so much. I've noticed that he really needs to just work on when he's making these drones. Like, he is not making drones right now. He is, in fact, actually researching the shield upgrade just for his Archons, so his Archons will get this extra shield buff, and do a little bit, be able to take a little bit more damage. Of course, these sentries are also going to be somewhat affected by that, as of course these sentries have very little health. Of course, everything's going to be affected by that, including buildings, which make the shield upgrade kind of rarely seen, but very useful. This observer is also seeing everything, meaning that Vulcanix is playing very, very well. Getting those more gateways so we can get that production up. Getting the Twilight Council now. Will we see Blink? We actually might, as there are a lot of Stalkers around this army, and Blink is always going to be useful no matter what situation you're in. A Blink Stalker will always beat a Stalker without Blink, as he can just blink back, and run away. Got it that time. Look, the observer is going to come out here and scout the entire army. Not very big. If we're checking out the units tab, we are seeing about 10 more probes, and just so much more. I mean, looks like Vulcanix is leading in everything, except these Archons, however, are being morphed. And these Archons are also very, very strong against things like Colossus, as the splash damage from the Colossus does not really affect it as much. Prove up and you put a proxy pylon down right here. Will this actually be spotted? I think it might do. As it looks like Austin will try to take his third, but it will not see the proxy pylon. This could actually be really bad for Austin if he doesn't see this. Oh, does he see a little? He sees a little bit of light, but he from the mineral actually he actually goes ahead and sees the pylon, but the probe, but he does not see the pylon, meaning that he will sort of be in a little bad spot, as Warpins will be pretty bad there. The Colossus are out. 3 Colossus are going to be doing a lot of damage with some good force fields. They can force field the Archons back, force field the Zealots into a little box, and just do as much damage as he can. Opting to get that quick third base. Might actually spell his 2 miss. He's not going to have enough to deal with this right now as the push is actually coming in. Will he throw it on the force field? So it looks like actually the Zealots are just going to eat up by the Colossus. The Colossus are doing so much damage right now. It's absolutely insane. Force fields are going down. It looks like a small counterattack from Archons is actually coming in right now. Sandwiching actually might be do a large amount of damage, but the Immortals are here, and Immortals are just going to do so much damage to these Colossus. Looks like the Archons will be eaten up, and I think that is it for Austin. If he loses these Archons, that is GG. He's even losing probes to the splash damage, but it looks like all the Archons are getting taken out, and that is it. I don't think Austin can do anything at this point to beat this large army of so many Colossus, and it looks like Vulcanix is going to take this in a... See, wow, Austin just being a fantastic player. Well played. Good luck in the rest of the tournament, just being so manner. Absolutely amazing play. Macro from Vulcanix. Of course, Austin had that amazing play in Game 2, but unfortunately, he could not take the series, and therefore is being so manner. And of course, if you really want a good manner players, you're going to sign up for all these tournaments that the Nebraska Esports Association is throwing out there. Of course, only the mannerest of manner players sign up for this. And of course, you're also going to check out quicktech.net for all your computer needs. And of course, check out any other sponsors that you can see at the bottom of the screen, as they are all ballers for helping esports. And tune in for any other games that Nebraska Esports Association casts. And of course, check me out at youtube.com/user/PixieStarcraft. And if you enjoyed this cast, please check me out, subscribe, and of course, check out the Nebraska Esports Association. And thank you for watching, and have a great day. You can tell that I'm not really good at ending these things, so I hope that you guys have a baller StarCraft.